Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Miss Crochet and Coffee here. And today we are doing a whip and chat. So get whatever it is you're working on. Knitting, cross stitching, cross stitch, beaded cross stitch, coloring, diamond painting. Let's do some crafting, shall we? Now, before I get started on the normal, feel good topics, one, I need to fill my pen because my wax is old. Which I probably should have done, which I did do before I got on here, but apparently I forgot to fill up my four-placer. But before I get into my normal topics, I'm going to get a little bit serious here. Now, Miss Coffee don't usually get serious about stuff, but this is becoming a problem, and I want to do all I can to help resolve said issue. Now, for those of you wondering, oh snap, who done pissed Miss Coffee off? No one has pissed me off. This isn't about a YouTube creator this time. This is about the new rules and guidelines being created by YouTube. Now, I've been essentially hearing things here and there, and I wouldn't say I've been ignoring them. Well, let's just face it, I've been ignoring them because I figure in my head that if I ignore them, the problem will just fix itself and go away. But that is not the case in this instance. The new rules that are being implemented by YouTube could potentially shut down a lot of channels, including mine. Because of the fact that the guidelines are so vague as to what is considered content for children. Now, a lot of you know that they're cracking down on this because YouTube got fined for collecting data on children, which that's not my fault, but I'm going to be one of the ones that is penalized for their mistake. And by that, I mean, if YouTube or this FCC place sees any of my content as being bright and colorful, or there being characters, as in Pikachu here, they could potentially stop monetization on my videos and commenting as well, which means there's no point of me making videos. Now, I didn't start YouTube for the money, and you'll hear every creator that makes money on YouTube tell you this bold-faced lie. All YouTubers create their channels in the hopes that they can make money from it, not so much to be greedy, which I'm pretty sure there are some greedy YouTubers out there, but not so much to be greedy, but to fund the channel, to fund being able to bring you guys all this fun new content. What this could do is stop that. They could stop the funding for a lot of these channels that are monetized, and it could be the downfall of these channels, because you put your hard work and time into making and editing these videos to have YouTube go, well, you're showing markers. Children like markers. We can take that down, and you can either pay a fine of up to $4,200, or you can let us, demonetize your channel and your comment section can disappear. And I'm just sitting here listening to a video this morning, and I'm like, okay, what am I going to do if something happens to my channel? I am worried about this. I've been worried about this. Patriotic Beauty has spoken on this a couple of times in videos of hers. I've watched other creators' videos on this topic, and I just kind of saw it as one of those, things that YouTube's yet again trying to crack down on stuff because they got in trouble, and now all of a sudden it's a big deal. My first thought went to, you left the Momo video up for millions of, kids to find, and child-friendly content on YouTube. Like, if you don't know what the Momo thing was, somebody put up this really scary, supposedly scary thing in the middle of Peppa Pig, which is a cartoon. They put these little videos up in a cartoon. They hid them in a cartoon, essentially telling children that they're going to kill their parents and kill them. And those videos are still circulating around YouTube. That's fine. But let me show a bright, shiny Copic. Let me diamond paint on Pikachu here. And that could potentially be the end of my channel, because they will demonetize it and turn off my commenting. I don't know how I feel about this. Part of me wants to go, you know what? Just stop now while you're ahead. The other part of me is like, when the hell do you quit things? Now, I could be one of these YouTubers that gets on here and F this and F that and F it in the A and all this other fun shit. No, I don't curse a lot on my videos. One, out of respect for people, because a lot of people that watch are older than me, and normally I don't curse in front of people. Every once in a while, I'll cuss in front of my elders. But for the most part, no, I don't. I'm not a big cursor. Not every word that comes out of my mouth is a cuss word, and I don't feel that I should have to change my content up to essentially appease YouTube so they don't look at my channel and go, oh, she's coloring, censor her. You're censoring art. YouTube is censoring art. If you have art, then you will be censored. Diamond paintings. Anything that can be viewed as child-friendly. All diamond paintings look child-friendly. All of them. Unless you're doing a diamond painting of a woman giving fellatio to a man, essentially all diamond paintings can be viewed as childlike. We're using little colorful beads, color, to create a picture. Just like what toy is there out there that you can use colorful beads to create a child picture? Like a light bright, a pegboard, stuff like that. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried because these rules are implemented starting in January. My big concern isn't for just myself, but for the hundreds and thousands of creators here on YouTube. YouTube is bigger than our little diamond painting community. YouTube is bigger than the coloring community. There are artists, there are, people who draw and color and make things out of wood or metal. These people can all be affected by these new rules because they're so vague as to what can be considered child, like something that'd be aimed at children. Now, when I put up my last video, which would have been the Diamond Art Club unboxing, because right now I haven't recorded What You Got Wednesday, but of course by the time you see this you would have already seen that video, but I haven't recorded the rest of it yet. When I put up that video, I was alerted that if I had anything child that can be viewed as content for children, I needed to tell YouTube. So I uploaded my video, and then it had on top of it, and this is on my computer, so on top of it, it said account settings. If your videos are aimed at children, click these settings, blah, blah, blah. So I clicked on it, and I went ahead and posted that my content, because it gives you 3 options. Yes, my stuff is aimed at children. No, my stuff is not aimed at children. And please ask me every time I upload a freaking video if my stuff is aimed at children. Now, my videos are not aimed at children. My videos are aimed at adults. Yes, my 13-year-old daughter watches my channel. That's my child. She could do the same thing if she was sitting in here watching me make the video. But I understand, and I get that they're trying to crack down and make YouTube a safe place for children, which is why they created YouTube Kids. Now, when I first heard about all this hubbub going on YouTube with their rules, I immediately deleted. Matter of fact, it was before that. It was when that Momo stuff started. I deleted YouTube off my kids' tablets. Anything that had my sign in was deleted. And by that, I mean like their TVs. Because, TVs nowadays have smart TVs, so I didn't think it was a problem to have them on my login because none of the stuff that I watch is inappropriate. So they would use my login on their TVs because, like for Maggie, if you didn't know, I have an entire playlist of videos from creators like Pippa Brown and Cal Withington and Rachel Ray who have read children's books to Maggie or just to children in general. And I have a whole playlist full of those for Maggie. So I would use my login on Maggie's TV so that at night when she wanted to hear an extra story, she could just go to the playlist, and she knew how to do it, and watch the stories. Now she can't even do that anymore because I had to log out of it because of all the new rules that are changing. Now she has YouTube Kids. So what is all this, that I'm talking about? Because usually Miss Coffee isn't this serious about stuff, but I'm a little worried about this because, like I said, this could be the end of my channel. Like, as of this time next year, crafting with Miss Crochet and Coffee could cease to exist. And I don't want that to happen because I love my fan base. I love creating on YouTube. I've put a lot of hard work into my channel. And bragging rights, I took a channel from 0 to 5,000 in a year. I'm very proud of that. How did I do it? Hard work. Being original, not copying, doing what I felt was best for my channel. Now, on my channel, I crochet. I use colorful threads that can be viewed as content aimed at children. I diamond paint. I sometimes diamond paint characters. That can be content viewed as, something for children. I color, which can definitely be viewed as something aimed at children. And I'm not going to change who I am or what I do on my channel to appease YouTube because they got in trouble for collecting data on children when they weren't supposed to. So with that said, I don't know what the future is of my channel as of yet. It's a scary thought to think that this time next year I won't be making videos anymore. But there are a couple of creators that are standing up and speaking out, and I'm going to join them as much as I can. Now, I don't have followings big like them. I have a following that's big enough for the diamond painting community, but I don't have a following big enough for like the coloring community and all that. That, is beyond my realm. I'm just now getting into adult coloring. Hell no, I'm not going to stop adult coloring. Whether YouTube, demonetizes my channel or not, I'm not going to stop adult coloring. Even if YouTube does demonetize my channel, there are other platforms that I could go to, like Twitch and Mixer. That could be another option for me. But for right now, I like my place here on YouTube. So what I am going to do is, in the description of this video, I am placing a petition. These people that are finding YouTube or that have found YouTube are listening to what people have to say. Now, when I started my channel, like a lot of you, I suffer from mental illness. My channel was created as a place for people like me, people who suffer from mental illness, people who want to get out of their own heads, people that need a place to go and have a good time. This is why I make such a big deal about I don't want to come to YouTube and get depressed. And I've heard a creator last week in her video state, I know people don't come to YouTube to get depressed or hear sad stories and blah, blah, blah. And I knew it was aimed at me. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. Every creator is different. And if that creator wants her channel to be sad sob stories and pity party trains and all that crap, that's not my business. I don't care. But my channel was created because I suffer from mental illness and I wanted a place where I could go that I could laugh, have a good time, forget about whatever's bothering me, get out of my own head, and just have fun doing what I like to do. Listen to some funny stories, maybe, what have you. Because mental health is a huge thing in the US. I'm pretty sure it's a huge thing all over the world. And I just wanted a place that I could, help other people. Whether I've done that or not, who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'm just, here for a good laugh every once in a while. I don't know. But I don't want to lose my channel over something that, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm being punished now for being creative. And my punishment is you won't be able to fund your channel anymore. Because like I've told you guys, Me being monetized means I get to fund this channel. You guys watching ads, private donations, donations during super chats, that is all put back into the channel, whether it's buying something directly for the channel or buying something indirectly for the channel. That's all being purchased because of you guys. Because of you guys watching my content and watching ads and giving donations. That's all purchased because of you guys. Now, could I just, let them demonetize my channel and take private donations? I could. But, which, probably would save me a whole lot of time and effort, because then I don't have to worry about like a whole half the other crap you got to worry about when you do this. But I don't feel that I should be punished for something that I didn't do. And because I use colorful things in my content, I'm being punished. Oh, well, you're being creative and colorful. What are they expecting? YouTube to be black and white? Like, of course, everything you do, and it's not just affecting us creators that do crafts. It's also affecting gamers on YouTube. Gamers will even be affected by this. They can't, like, name a video game that's not bright and colorful. This is complete bullshit. Like, I call complete bullshit on this. So, in the description of this video, I am putting the petition to sign to let YouTube know and hear your voice, because you can leave a comment, and they are reading the comments, that you don't, this isn't right, that we shouldn't be punished for doing something that we love because of them. And no, we cannot, it's not our fault, and we can't watch what other people's children watch. Some of the creators here on YouTube, like people like Stitcherista, she can be affected by this. She doesn't even have children. Rachel Ray, she's another one. She's another creator. She doesn't have children. She can't monitor children. She doesn't have any. So how is this fair to people like them? I have kids. I monitor what my kids watch. Why? Because I'm paranoid. I'm a helicopter mom. I am an army brat. I am the daughter of a man that has been so paranoid about life in general my entire life that I just can't help myself. I have all kinds of parental locks on my children's stuff. I have all kinds of stuff, set up where my kids can't watch things that are deemed inappropriate. But that's not going to stop them from, that's not going to stop children from watching things that are inappropriate. Shutting down and punishing creators for doing adult coloring, that's not going to stop them. Kids will do what they want to do. And there's nothing that YouTube or this FC whatever can do to stop them. Besides, now you're just going to punish a bunch of adults. And honestly, a lot of us suffer from mental health and do this because of that. A lot of creators will tell you, I suffer from mental health and this helps me. Well, what's going to happen when their coping mechanism is gone? What happens when they shut down that YouTube creator's channel? Then what? That's right. Go back to the pharmaceutical companies and let them fill you full of poisonous drugs to essentially help you feel better. I don't know about any of you. I haven't been medicated in 10 years, and I have no intentions on being medicated now because I can't have my channel. So if you guys can take a minute, pause this video, sign the petition, and it'll be the very first thing in the description box of this video. Before whatever this is, whatever the description is of the video and everything, I will make sure it's at the very top so it's easy to find. So all you have to do is go to the right of the title, click the arrow, and go down into the description box and click on the petition and sign it. Let's let YouTube and these people know that we don't want them stealing our platform and punishing us for being creative because we want to use bright, colorful colors. So please take a moment out of your day to sign the petition, and I'm going to spread the word to all my YouTube creators. I don't care if we have beef. I don't care if you hate my life. I don't care if you like me or not. Share the petition. Share the petition as many times as you can to whoever will listen, whoever we need to get these signatures on this petition so that they see that we don't want them affecting our community because of this. But with that said, you know, guys, thank you so much for listening to me ramble on about that, because that was heavy on my heart this morning. As you guys know, I always record my whipping chats a day early. So you're seeing this the day before I actually put it up. Or you're seeing this the day after I put it up, I should say. So yeah. So I'm going to take a minute, go take a deep breath, come back, and we will get into what I came here to talk to you guys about. Because, guys, I have stories, okay? I have stories. So give me a second to let me go collect myself, drink some coffee, take a hit of my vape rig, and I will be right back. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to that. Now, you guys, it has been a week, okay? As you guys know, we got snow. Yes, it rhymes. I don't care. So we got snow. What day did we get snow? We got snow Sunday or Monday. And as you guys know, you should probably make sure your gas tanks are full before it snows. Or you run the risk of like your car freezing up or getting water into your gas line because you don't have a lot of gas in there, and the freeze and the melting and all that fun jazz. Well, I was slow and I forgot to put gas in my car. I think I had like a quarter of a tank of gas, but my car wouldn't start, and I was like, oh Jesus. I had to take the kids to school the next morning, so I was like, Mr. Coffee, I'm going to need you to bring home a gas can with some gas in it. And he was like, all right, cool. Why? And I was like, because I didn't put gas in the car, and now my car won't start. Well, I go out, and the only reason why I knew this is because I went out to go it was Monday. I went to go take the trash out, and I saw a piece of paper on my car. And I'm like, who's up here messing with my car? So it snowed Sunday into Monday. Because the person that put the piece of paper on my car had to move snow from in front of my windshield to put the paper in my windshield wiper. And I'm like, I'm real finicky about my stuff. Don't touch my stuff. It's my stuff. Mine. So when I saw that, I immediately got mad because I'm like, I don't like people messing with my things. Who's messing with my things? So I go and grab the piece of paper off my car. I go to crumble it up and I see something about parking. And I'm like, hold up, what? So that told me that it came from the complex. And I'm like, okay, well, what does the complex have to say now? Because, if there's, something major going on, usually they'll email you, but all of a sudden now they're sending you out letters. So I'm like, all right, they want to be Inspector Gadget, whatever. So I'm sitting there and I'm reading the note and it's telling me how to park my car. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? I went to driver's ed, I don't need to know how to park my car. Well, with the winter months coming and where I park, the sidewalk to walk up and down the sidewalk, sometimes will get blocked. Now, because the state flower of North Dakota is white pickup truck, because a lot of the oil field guys here use white pickup trucks to get around, yeah. They will sometimes park so close to the sidewalk with their tires touching where the sidewalk starts that their hitch or the little thing that hangs off the back of their car or their truck will be sitting in the middle of the sidewalk, which is a safety hazard for those people that are handicapped and for people that are just walking their dogs. You can't have the whole ass end of your car sticking out where somebody can trip over it or get hurt because you were being a butthole and parked your car too far close up to the sidewalk. That, and also because it's time to start snowing, the complex needs room to clear off the sidewalk, which they can't do if your car is over the sidewalk. Now, when I seen this paper on my car, I immediately got mad anyways, because why are you messing with my car? Is this not something that, they know my license plate. It says the Mrs. 1. I don't hardly leave. And I messaged the lady because it also said about not letting your car sit still in the same spot for too long. Now, you guys know, I don't leave this house. And I'm like, well, what the hell does that mean? That means I can't be a hermit? I have to go out and drive around the block or something? So I call the complex and I'm like, what is this? And the lady explains it to me and I'm like, look, I pay $1,400 a month in rent, okay? You heard right, $1,400 for an apartment. I'm like, I don't appreciate you guys putting stuff on my car. One, this is something that you could have been putting in the doors of the building or send out an email, which would have saved yourself a lot of paper and the environment, since you're wasting so much paper. Again, I'm hanging around Rachel way too much. But you could have saved yourself a lot of effort if you would have just sent out a mass email versus going to people's car one by one and putting up these notices. And she goes, well, ma'am, I'm not sure why they would put a note on your car. I'm like, oh, now we don't know why they're putting notes on the cars. We just know that they're doing it. She's like, well, maintenance did it. I don't care who did it. I don't want you guys touching my car. That's my property. Y'all ain't paying that car note. Why are you touching my stuff? So I essentially told her, look, my car, and she's like, well, you can't be parked in the same spot for a long time. Oh, I'm sorry. Why do you think I've been parked in the same spot for a long time? She goes, ma'am, if your car's been sitting there longer than 2 days. I'm like, the weekend is 2 days. So you mean to tell me I have to go somewhere every weekend? She's like, well, no. I'm like, that's exactly what you're saying. Or I have to move my car from spot to spot to spot to spot to satisfy you so it looks like I went somewhere and did something with myself. I'm like, I can go a whole week without leaving my house. And you're telling me that I have to move my car? And she goes, well, ma'am, I would hope that if you're, because we do have garages. Like they do have, for our apartment, we have a 2-car garage. And she's like, well, ma'am, if you're not going to leave for that long extended period of time, why wouldn't you just park in the garage? One, because I don't freaking feel like it. Two, I've never sat in a house for a complete week without moving my car. I'm like, I pick up my kids from school every day. I'm like, so I leave this house 5 days a week. I'm like, I just happen to get the same parking spot because, as you guys know, and they do know this, I'm like, I choose the spot closest to my house so I can start my car because my daughter has a health issue. And they were just kind of like, oh, yes, ma'am, your little girl is the one that, has problems regulating her body temperature. So I was like, yes. So unless you would like for me to call the county and let them know that I need a handicap thing put up right here or a reserved parking, I'm like, I tend to just park in the same spot. Sometimes I don't even get the same spot. I'm like, I've been having parking wars with my neighbor upstairs for the last year. So sometimes I don't even get the same spot. Sorry, the C and G's on this canvas are the same color, and this canvas hates my life. You ever got a canvas where you had 2 symbols that are alike? Of course you have. Gotten canvases where the 2 symbols are alike in the same color, and you're sitting there and you're going cross-eyed trying to make sure you're not putting the wrong drills on the wrong thing. It's a hot mess. So I fuss at them about this, and I'm like, I don't feel it's fair that you guys can just go around and tell people where they can and can't park. We pay all this money for rent, and you're, essentially delegating, oh, well, you can't park here for, this amount of time. I'm like, what is the time frame that I can park somewhere where you don't think my car's been sitting there? I'm like, there's a car that's parked right next to mine that's been sitting in the same spot for 3 months. Y'all ain't saying nothing about that, and there was no paper on that vehicle. I leave 5 days a week, and I get a paper on my vehicle because it looks like my car's been sitting there that long. So she apologized and let the maintenance guys know to put a note on the car next to mine because it literally has been sitting there for 3 months. It's broken down, and you're not allowed to have your broken down vehicle sitting in the parking lot. That's a case where you would have to put it in your garage or take it off the property. And so they went and put a paper on the guy's car next to mine, and I'm like, look, usually I ain't no snitch, but y'all ain't about to be putting stuff on my car when there's a car that's actually parked that is essentially, it hasn't moved. It has not moved in 3 months. And I'm like, but y'all just assume that person had the same parking spot over and over again, and that's fine, but let mine sit there, no good God. Either way. So I fussed at the complex about that, and I'm just like, I was just having a bad day that day, and we all have those days where it's just like everything that can go wrong will go wrong, and it's just, oh, good gosh, one more thing goes wrong, I'm going to lose it, and burn down the whole building. So that day, Mr. Coffee had to work, and so I had to walk the dogs, which means my neighbor lady would come over and listen out for the kids. And so I went to go walk the dogs, and of course, like I said, it had snowed, and the sun was out that morning, so some of the snow had melted, but it wasn't cold enough to melt it good, so essentially it's just all turning to ice. I get to the dog park. Now, you guys know, and if you're new to the channel, hey, I'm Miss Coffee. I have a Siberian Husky. And if you don't know, Siberian Huskies love snow. So, we get to the dog park. I let the dogs off their leashes because I am not allowed to walk my dogs without their leashes. Even though they walk right next to me, I'm not allowed to walk my dogs without their leashes because I have big dogs, and that's a no-no. I get salty about that because I have neighbors that have little dogs that are they allow the little dogs to walk off leash, and that's fine, but let my big dogs walk right next to me off leash, and people are ready to call animal control for the vicious dog outside. So I'm sitting there and I let them off the leash. They go running off. They go to the bathroom. They're running and playing in the snow, and I'm like, oh, doggies. All right, mom, it's cold. It's time to go. Well, now, if you remember from previous stories, or if you're new and you don't remember, the dog park I take my kids is right across the street from my house, because the dog park at my complex is just disgusting. And it has two ways you can get in. There is a doubled area where you have to get through one gate. It's a concrete slab, and then you open up another gate to get into the park, or to let the dogs into the dog park area. Or there's a big double gate at the back of the dog park, which is what they usually use to bring in lawnmowers to cut the grass. So, sorry, that we got put on a C. So I let my dogs in the big gate because we had walked from that direction into the dog park. I let them in the big gate. They take off. They go to the bathroom. They're running around playing, blah, blah, blah. Now, every once in a while, other pet owners will bring their dogs from all over town to this dog park. It's a nice, decent-sized dog park. Most of the time, people are pretty conscious about picking up after their pets. There is a lady that goes there that has 3 chihuahuas that will just open up the gate, and because they're little dogs, she doesn't feel the need that she needs to get out and clean up after them. Again, if you don't know, Miss Coffee hates pet owners like that, because what makes you so freaking special that the rest of us have to clean up after our pets? You get a pet for show and go, oh, I don't need to clean up after it. That's gross and disgusting. Either way. So I'm sitting there and this car pulls up, and out of just, pure respect for other people, I don't take too long in the dog park. The dogs will run around for about 20 minutes, and it's cold, so that 20 minutes goes on forever. So I've started setting timers, and then they know when the timer goes off, it's time to go. Well, timer had gone off, but that nobody had showed up at the dog park just yet. And just as I had that thought, somebody showed up in a car, because a lot of people will drive their pets over because it's so cold. Which, the only reason why I didn't is because I want to lose my good parking spot. So I didn't drive my dogs over. I walked. So I was just like, okay, time to get the dogs and let's go. You guys, that damn Killian. Oh my God. I'm sitting here and I go, all right, guys, come on, let's go. Daisy runs up to me. I get her leashed. I hang her leash on the pole of the gate so she can't go run off with the leash. So I'm sitting there and I go, all right, come on, Killian, it's time to go, bud. He looks at me and then shakes his head no and takes off. And I'm like, I'm not chasing you today. I'm not doing it. This is not happening. This dog will do any and everything he can to embarrass me in front of other people because he hates my life. No, I don't think he's actually doing it on purpose, but yes, I do think he actually is doing it on purpose. That dog had me run around that dog park for another 25 minutes chasing him because he'd do that thing where he'd, lay down in the snow, he'd barrel roll, he'd dig his snout up underneath the snow. The moment you get close to him, he bolts. And if you know anything about Huskies, they love to run. And they're fast. Which is why I always say that if my dogs were to ever run away, they'll eventually find their way home because I'm not running after them. Have you ever tried chasing a German Shepherd or a freaking Siberian Husky? Yet no, don't. Because you won't catch them. They're not like a little dog. They are built for running. So don't chase them. Let them find their way back. And believe me, they will find their way back unless somebody steals them. Either way. So I'm sitting there and this dog is running around. Now at this point, I got so desperate, I opened up all the doors to the dog park. So the 2 front gates and the double gate are all now sitting wide open. But Killian knows he's not allowed to leave the dog park. So he didn't leave the dog park. He refused to leave. And then the lady is sitting there waiting for me to, get my dogs out of the dog park so she can put her dogs in. I look over at her. She's having 1,000 chuckles over in her vehicle while I'm over here running down this dog that won't get on the damn leash. I almost slipped and fell twice. And I was like, okay, I've had enough. I start walking off. And again, I have all the gates open. Killian is looking like he's sitting at the edge of the gate. Because again, he knows he's not allowed to leave the dog park without his leash. He's sitting at the edge of his gate, or at the edge of the gate, looking like one of those dogs from the EASPCA commercial. I thought Sarah McLachlan was going to come out and start singing Arms of an Angel, because he's just sitting there and he has the saddest look on his face because I started walking away. I literally was exhausted because I just spent 25 minutes chasing him around the freaking dog park. And he's sitting there and all I can hear in my head is, in the arms of... I'm like, I don't care. You're not getting my 25 cents today, buddy. Bye. And I just start walking away. Now, he then starts running around the dog park again. Stops, looks at me, keeps running, stops, look at me, and I'm like, I don't care what you do with your life. I walk around the corner. Now, around the corner is not really far from the dog park. Don't you know this dog stayed in there for 10 minutes, just staring and running around. Doesn't care that I left or anything. I hear the lady yell, "Are you going to get your dog?" Shut up, Chuckles. I'm trying, okay? Did you not just watch me try? You watched me try to get the dog. I almost slipped in here 3 or 4 times. You see me trying to get the dog. I can't get the damn dog. I'm like, you need to drive off because, like I said, she had her dogs in her vehicle. And if your dogs are anything like mine and they see other dogs, they're like, oh, it's playtime now. It's time. It's about to go down. So my dog seen her dogs and we're like, yeah, no, we're playing now. Now we have somebody to play with besides each other. Let's do this. And she's like, well, I really need to get home. Well, you didn't need to get home 25 minutes ago when you were sitting in your vehicle chuckling at me because I was chasing my dog around the dog park trying to get him out of here because you just had to pull up right next to the dog park with your dogs as they're barking in your car. I'm like, you need to drive off so I can get my damn dog. So she does. She drives off. And then, as soon as she drove off, Killian bolts out the door. Why did he randomly decide to bolt out the door? Because he chased her. He chased her car. She had dogs and he wanted to play with them. He chased her car down like a gazelle. Like, he was not playing. He was, like, on her bumper. And she's like, well, you got him out. I'm like, yeah, but now he's chasing you. Yo, I spent an hour and 20 minutes outside trying to wrangle Killian to get him back in the house. My neighbor was like, did you have some fun outside? I didn't think you were a person that likes snow. I don't like snow. So if that wasn't bad enough, I finally get a hold of him because she slowly drives past me slow enough that I could grab Killian's leash. I grab his leash, grab him, let's go, damn dog. At this point, I'm mad. His name is no longer Killian. His name is damn dog. So I'm walking down the street and all I can muddle under my breath, the last little bit that I had left, damn dog. Meanwhile, I missed 3 calls from Mr. Coffee. He doesn't know what's going on. He's talking to the kids by the time I get to the house. But we get to the intersection because there's an intersection I have to pass to come back to my house. Well, somebody's car backfired and Killian decides, oh, that means run fast. Now, again, it's icy. It had just snowed. Killian took off, which meant Daisy took off, which means I fell on my ass on the ice and they drugged me across the street. Meanwhile, I see 3 cars pull up to the intersection and they're all looking at me like they thought I was sledding. Like that's what it looked like. It looked like I was sledding. And I'm like, no, I'm dying. I'm dying because these dogs are dragging me. And I can't really blame Daisy because Daisy will follow behind Killian. Killian heard the backfire of the truck and went, oh, time to run. I don't know why he thought that meant it was time to run, but they literally, and luckily for me, I wear Mr. Coffee's winter gear that he leaves here for work. Like, if they get new winter gear at work, he'll leave an outfit here for me to wear because he knows I like wearing it because it's big and baggy and I can wear my clothes up underneath it. Well, Mr. Coffee, I'm picking out another color. Mr. Coffee leaves me out, hold up, I need you. He leaves me out a pair of bibs, which are overalls. They're thermal on overalls. And then these quilted overalls that he had to wear. And what are my other symbol? Okay, hold on a sec. Let me get my bags. All right, back. Sorry about that. Wanted to make sure I had all my colors, and I still don't because I just seen that I have 4 and Q down here. Luckily, here goes the letter 4 and the letter Q. So here we go. So that was just a blip for you, but that was like 10 minutes worth of looking for diamonds for some reason for me. Anyways, so yeah, Mr. Coffee leaves home this cold weather gear for me so that I can use it to go outside because the temperature's here. And with me still waiting on Fingerhut to send my replacement jacket, yes, they're sending a replacement, and it's taking its sweet old time getting here. He left the winter gear for me so that I wouldn't freeze to death trying to walk the dogs while he was at work. Because he obviously can't just come home from work to walk dogs. So, yeah. So, I'm sitting here, and I checked the pants to make sure that there was, like, you know, no holes in them from being dragged across the street and everything. And this guy gets out, and he's like, "Are you okay, ma'am?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. You know, my pride's hurt a little bit, but other than that," he goes, "Don't worry about it. I thought for sure that you were just sledding across the street. You have a sled dog." I'm like, "Yeah, a lot of people seem to think that, but he's not a sled dog. He's just a dog." So the guy checked to make sure I was okay, and so did a couple other people. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just going to take him home now. So we get home, and Killian gets the biggest smile on his face when he gets in the house, and he goes off, runs off, and plays with the kids. And I'm like, stupid damn dog. I can't this damn dog and freaking dog. Call Mr. Coffee back, and he's like, you know, what's going on? Is everything okay? It took you a while to get back from the dog park. And I'm like, let me tell you about your dog. Because anytime Killian does anything wrong, then it's Mr. Coffee's dog. Any other time, that's my dog. I don't care what he says. That's my dog. I walk, water, and cook and clean up after that dog. That's my dog. And then when he does something wrong, I'm like, get your dog. Like, does anybody else do that with their pets? Like, they're your pets until they do something wrong, and then at that point, you just pawn them off on other people. I do that with the kids, too. I think everybody does that with their kids. They're just like, look what your kid did today. Any other day, look at my baby. That's my baby right there. Yeah, yeah. So, I get back in the house from that, and I tell him, like, Mr. Coffee comes home that night, and I explain to him exactly what happened, and he goes, why do you think I take the collars? Now, my dogs do have e-collars. No, I don't want your opinion on it. No, I don't care if you don't like it. They're my dogs. So, the e-collars have functions on them. Now, we don't usually use the shock function, because there's no point. Just the pure having the remote control to it freaks out Daisy. So she doesn't even really have to wear the collar. Just the thought of it, because we let it vibrate on her a few times and she's gotten in trouble. And she freaked out. So after that, she hears that noise and she knows whatever it is she's doing, she's to stop. So, and if you haven't guessed, this is going to be a longer video. So get ready. So yeah, he goes, why do you think I put the e-collar on them whenever we go out the house? And I'm like, I don't know. Because Mr. Coffee walks the dogs every night at 8 o'clock. Because it's dark out. He doesn't like me going out after dark. And, you know, Killian, with it snowing now, will not leave the dog park. So he has to buzz him. By buzz him, I mean he beeps the collar at him to tell him to come on. And there's no way to confuse the beep button from the shock button. So, like, yeah. Plus, the shock doesn't do anything for Killian because his fur's so thick, he can't feel it anyways. And I'm not about to choke my dog just so I can, like, shock him. So, essentially, he gets buzzed. And every once in a while, we'll put it on the vibrate, and that just tickles him, and he thinks that somebody's playing, and then he just runs off anyway. So, you can only use the beep function on him anyways. So, for those people that are like, oh my God, she uses the e-collar on her dogs. Yes, I do. And my dogs are very well trained and behaved. And I chalk it up to a lot of hard training with them and using the e-collar. So, either way. So, he's like, yeah, but the problem is Killian will get outside. And we're getting to the point now where the weather's getting bad where we have to put their booties on them. And if you've never tried putting booties on a dog, yeah, that's not fun for anybody. Have you ever been donkey kicked by a dog? I have. It's not fun. Last year, I went to go try to put Daisy's boots on her, and she donkey kicked me. And if by donkey kick, I just mean she took her back leg and kicked the crap out of me. It wasn't fun. I lost all the air in my body. I thought I was going to pass out for about 2.35 seconds, and then I was like, oh, no, we got to do something about this. So, yeah. Guys, can you believe I almost finished this section? It's only been like 45 minutes. Good God. So, I'll probably have this canvas finished tomorrow. So, for those folks that are like, oh my God, Miss Coffee's never going back to diamond painting. You guys, it's okay to do more than one craft. Okay? It's okay. Right now, I'm just really into coloring. But I also do love my diamond paintings. Are you kidding me? Did you see the owl? Did you see it? One, I realized Saturday morning that the unboxing Gone Off My Meds did was a sneak peek, and she didn't even know about it. So for those folks that are like, seem to think that I have some evil hand in the hand of the Diamond Art Club community, no. See, Gone Off My Meds is proof. They don't always tell you you're getting these sneak peeks. They just kind of throw them at you and like, here you go. And you're like, what's this? Just don't worry about it. Just show it on your channel. You're good. So yeah. So, but that little owl, you guys, that little owl, he has stolen my heart, and I had to get it. I had to. So look forward to that unboxing. Anyways, but yeah, so we're having a hard time right now with Killian, and this is every year. This isn't just this year. This isn't new. We still haven't found a way, because Killian's only 2 years old, okay? He's still a pup. He's only 2. Daisy's 3, and then Achilles, my other dog that lives with my parents, he's 4. My dogs are all young. So we're still trying to find a way to get Killian to leave the dog park. Yet, no, nothing we do works. Even bringing food. I brought bologna. He still wouldn't leave the dog park. He don't care about no damn bologna. He cares about he's outside in the snow. This is his element. The snow is his jam. He don't care whether I like it, Mr. Coffee likes it, anybody that's bringing their dog up that wants to use the dog park likes it. He just knows the snow is his jam, and he's all about that life. So, we're still trying to figure out a way to get him to come in and not have to have it be a struggle where we're chasing him. And my big thing is, of course, we're chasing him around a dog park, and not all owners are respectful and clean up after their pets. So I'm always worried that I'm going to, step or fall or slide into something, some little present that was left by another animal that wasn't mine. Even if it was mine, it'd still be gross. So, yeah. How did I forget a G? Sorry, I'm stabbing and grabbing out of this bag. Again, the C's and G's, they're different colors, but on the canvas, they're the exact same color. Or at least they look like that to me. Which makes it a little bit more difficult when you're trying to complete a section and all the colors look alike. You guys, all of Pikachu, well, not all of Pikachu, most of his face is done. So we're going to have to go to a new section. And I got a trash drill here. I'm going to put my little basin over here. Almost mixed drills. Yesterday I mixed yellow and red together. Not sure how that happened, but that was a thing for a little bit. Either way. So let's see. What else happened this week? Oh, have you ever bribed your children, but not with food, but with stupid things? I've been having the biggest problem lately, which I'm not sure why it's a problem all of a sudden. It never was a problem before, but now all of a sudden has become a problem. Maggie has been going to go to bed, and then it's one of those things where you close the door and the room is nice and neat, smells good, just perfection. Your child's laying in bed all cute, snuggled up under the blankets. You close the door, you hear a giggle, you open the door back, and the whole room is destroyed, and there's toys everywhere, and she's half naked and hanging off something, and there's just disarray, and it smells like old gym socks, and you're like, what the hell? I don't know what Maggie does in her room after she goes to bed, but every morning for the last week, I go in her room, and it's like Armageddon. And I'm like, what happened? I literally helped you clean your room yesterday. Because then she'll make a huge mess in her room and say it's too big for her to clean up. And I'm like, it wasn't too big for you to make, so you can clean it up. But every once in a while, if I want her to hurry up, I will fuss at her and tell her to hurry up, and I'll be like, fine, I'll help you this time, but I'm not helping you next time. I always help her next time. I don't know why I tell her I'm not going to help her next time, because I always end up helping her next time. All right, you guys, we got to open up a new section. And no, I don't think I'm going to finish Pikachu on camera. Not right now, anyways. Like, I'm just going to open up a new section. So for those folks that wonder how Miss Coffee works on her canvases when they're big, even the small ones, I spin them around. You spin me. Who is that? A Colorful Life was singing that on her channel the one day, and I was like, yes. Oh, dude, are you serious? All right, hold on, you guys. I'll show you what I'm talking about over here. So, one of the things you have to be careful of when working on canvases with double-sided adhesive is that this canvas has been sitting on this table, essentially waiting for me to work on it, and it now has bubbles and stuff in it. Now, getting the bubbles out isn't, you know, rocket science or hard. All you need to do is you can even take the edge of your drill pen, and there's a big-ass bubble right here. And you just scratch at it. And I always scratch towards where the canvas is, like where the out part of the glue is, because it kind of pushes that air out like a fart, like a canvas fart. Let's lift you up a little bit. You can even take your tweezers and because if you try to diamond paint on those bubbles, you will learn very quickly. You'll have your canvas drills will be raised in areas. So I'm just taking my pen and essentially scratching and flattening out the bubbles. It sucks, but again, with the temperature change and everything else, I'm not going to blame that one on the company. It's the adhesive. It's what it does. It gets the air pockets because of the hot and cold, and I've had the heater on in here. I've had the heater off. Like right now, the heater's not on. So that sometimes can create the little issues in your canvas. Oh, just turning it sideways. All right. So, what are you guys working on? Are we coloring? Are we diamond painting? Again, huge thank you to those folks that enjoy watching me color. You guys are awesome. I know it's hard watching go into a channel and they start off doing one craft and then they change. They change what their channel started off to be, but people change. So of course, their channel could change, and the fact that so many of you have continued supporting me through this little coloring adventure that apparently I'm on, I just again like to say thank you, because I know a lot of you have said, I'll watch no matter what you're doing, and then I've had those that are like, yeah, no, I don't watch your coloring videos because I don't color. You don't have to color to listen to it. Like, you're listening to it. Why are you watching what I'm doing? Anyways, like I literally got into it with a lady that said she does not watch my coloring videos because she just can't stand to see a grown woman coloring. Well, then listen to a grown woman color. I don't know what to tell you. Like, fine, then don't watch. Like I don't know what people think when they tell me stuff like this, and then I go, okay, so like I don't know what to say, because it's either, and I have to censor myself a little bit because I can't just pop off at everyone. And believe me, I've popped off on quite a few people this week, but I can't be just sitting there, popping off on everybody because, well, I don't want to watch your coloring. All right, fine, then don't watch it. Listen to it. Plus, you're not obligated to watch any of my videos, but I just appreciate the fact that you guys do watch them, And whether it's coloring or diamond painting or crocheting, which you should be getting a crochet video this week. So for those folks who love to crochet, I learned a new stitch and I'm showing it to my peeps. So if you are interested in crocheting and want to see what this new stitch is, stay tuned to Fiber Friday. I haven't done Fiber Friday in forever. So yeah, I have a Fiber Friday this week. And by fiber, I don't mean Metamucil, okay? But yeah, I was sick all weekend still, and I finally started feeling better. Now, Mr. Coffee's not feeling the best, and I'm like, sucks to be you, buddy. Make sure that Porcelain Throne is your best friend. Any messes made by you need to be cleaned up by you. That's just, like, I can do kids when they get sick. I can't do adults. Can't do it. You're an adult. I don't care how bad you feel. You can clean up after yourself. So he was just like, yeah, my stomach feels kind of queasy. And I'm like, welcome to it, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. I really didn't, because nothing I did made me feel better. So, and then it was funny because Patriotic Beauty then said she wasn't feeling well. And I'm like, well, apparently I gave it to you through the internet. Again, I don't know what to tell people. Now Ryan's getting sick again. And I'm like, great. He starts coughing. And then this morning I wake up and my throat's itchy. And I'm like, the plague has hit us all in the coffee house. And then last night, because Orion said he was sick, I was in Becky's Madness for Crafting's live. She goes live on Tuesday nights. I was in her live, and I went to go give Orion some medicine. I gave him some Diamond Tap because, you know, Diamond Tap, that's that stuff right there. You remember, if you were little and took Diamond Tap as a kid, write that down in the comments. Like, do they have Diamond Tap in, like, Australia and stuff? Okay, I know that's a stupid question, but in my mind, only the U.S. has stuff like that. Like, other places don't have, like, Diamond Tap and stuff. So I'm wondering if they have Diamond Tap or other medicines. I'll have to message Rachel after this video and be like, hey, is there Diamond Tap there? I know you're in Ireland, but do they have, like, regular medicines there? Like Tylenol and stuff? Like, I wonder if Stone Cold Coffee Crafts is going to watch this. I think I know one German word, and it's called Krankenwagen, and I want to say that's like hospital or ambulance. I watch a lot of YouTube. Either way, I was in Becky's live. Oh crap! Hold up, I gotta start a new clip. All right, we're back, and I just dropped my pen. Anyways, so yeah, so I was giving Orion some medicine, and why do kids get giggly when you give them medicine? Like, he wasn't sick to the point where he looked like, you know, he should be in a store window being sold for quarters. But he was sick enough that he was, like, coughing and stuff. And I was like, let's get a hold of this cold before it gets worse. Because with Orion in the winter and with his asthma will quickly turn into bronchitis, which I don't want. And nobody in the house wants the likes of that either. So let's get a hold of this now before it gets worse, right? You get ahead on it. Well, I'm giving Orion his medicine, and I don't know what I started doing. I was doing Mr. Coffee was coming in from taking the dogs out. Now, Killian loves Mr. Coffee. Mr. Coffee is his person. That is his favorite person in the whole wide world. You can't tell him otherwise. That is his human. With that said, anytime Mr. Coffee and I get close together, if I go to give him a kiss, if I go to give him a hug, if I just get it in his business, Killian will come over and start what I call boofing at me. It's not really a bark. It's more like a growling bark. He's just like, "Ruh." Yeah, he makes it sound like that. "Ruh." And he's looking at me now like, don't mimic me. But, so I'm sitting there and he starts boofing at me, and Mr. Coffee was like, all right, I'm going to go get a shower, because he came home from work, walked the dogs, sat down and ate dinner, and was getting up to get or he had just gotten in from walking the dogs, and decided, okay, I really need to get in the shower before I eat. He didn't want to sit down and eat dinner with, like, dirty dog hands and dirty hands from work and stuff. which again, thank you to whoever it was that sent Mr. Coffee the hand soap. He loves it. But yeah, so I'm giving Orion his medicine, and he had like a little cup of it. So he puts it in his mouth, and Mr. Coffee walks past me right as I gave the cup of medicine to Orion. Orion drinks up the medicine. Well, so I thought. And as I went to go kiss Mr. Coffee as he was going back to our bedroom, Killian decides to bite me in the butt because he doesn't like it whenever I get close to Mr. Coffee. Because he bit me, I went, ow! Dang, dog! Apparently, that was the funniest thing on the planet to Orion, who then, as I turned around to hear him giggle, I was turning around to take the cup out of his hand so that I could rinse the cup out, the medicine cup. I didn't realize that he didn't swallow the medicine, and he ended up spitting all of the Dimetap in my face. Killian, on the other hand, is sitting there doing that thing where his butt's up in the air, and he wants to play now because he has bit me in the butt, and he has challenged me to a doggy duel. And I'm just like, I can't with life today. I can't. Why? Why with this dog? I don't know what's up with this dog. I just don't get it. And then I tell the kids, all right, well, it's time to get ready for bed. So, clean up your rooms, because I don't know why, but in my head, the kids can't go to bed if their rooms are dirty. I don't like I won't go to bed if there's dishes in a sink. And I don't allow the kids to go to bed if their room is dirty. So they have to clean up their room before they go to bed. Mostly because Maggie likes to make minefields in her room. And because they have blackout curtains and she isn't afraid of the dark, she will essentially leave out all her Barbie toys in the middle, like right in front of the door. And then when you go to walk in, it's like stepping on Legos. So I make sure now that they clean up their rooms before they go to bed, so I don't die like I did the last time Maggie decided to leave the little Barbie clothes shoe minefield for me. So I had them cleaning up. I come over to tell Becky, hey, I'll be right back. I got to make sure these kids get ready for bed, blah, 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 mommy life. And then at that moment, I see Killian and Maggie doing laps in my dining area because she has on skates and has his leash on him, and he is pulling her in a circle around the dining area and through the house. Now, again, I live in an apartment, folks, okay? And it's those dang Barbie skates. She has those Barbie skates that I guess she must have just found them or something. But now she thinks that she can do everything on the go. Like, she thinks that she, can just roll around the house on these skates all the time. And of course, because of Killian, he had his leash on, so she figured, oh, look, he can pull me. And he did. And I had to get him to stop so that I could grab her and put her back in her room so she can go clean her room. So for those of you wondering what it's like at a night in the coffee house, that's what it's like. My child using Killian as a sled dog so that she could essentially run around the house with the dog, pulling her around, while I'm running around trying to get medicine for Orion and clean myself up because I now am sticky with medicine and smell like little boy breath. Mr. Coffee comes out and he goes, what's going on out here? And I'm like, oh, the usual. And Maggie's got Killian pulling her around like he's a sled dog. Killian is just happy to oblige. And Killian's, of course, sitting over by the window with his mouth wide open, looking like he's smiling at everybody with his tongue sticking out. And, of course, Mr. Coffee, oh, I don't think Killian did anything. Why are you always picking on Killian? That's my big boy. Come here, Killian. And Killian just comes up and gets all the lovin's and then just looks at me like, told you he wouldn't believe you. Now, again, me and Killian have this love-hate relationship, and Killian likes to think that, he runs Mr. Coffee or something. So, like, I have to let Killian know who's boss, because it's not him. So, yeah. There was that. And then I was laughing because the other night, I was sitting out here, and Mr. Coffee was talking to me about work or something. And then he starts doing this little dance. Now, Mr. Coffee is the type of person that should never dance. Never. He has no rhythm. He can't carry a tune with a bucket. He has no rhythm. Like, it's just, these are things we know. And he was sitting up here doing this dance, and he starts trying to like bend over like he's pretending like he's twerking or something. And then all I could think of was, okay, he's trying to be cute, okay? I get it. All right. But in my mind, I'm going, if you split those $85 pants, you and I are going to have issues, okay? And so he's like, you don't like my little dance? No, I really don't. You're going to split your pants, and yet no. And the sad part is, the pants were really tight because he had on thermals underneath them because he had went to go walk the dogs. But I forgot that they were stretchy pants, so he wasn't tearing those pants. He doesn't wear regular jeans. He says he doesn't like the way they feel, so he wears like the workman's Ariat work jeans, which are a little bit stretchy to give you some give for the oil-filled man. And I'm like, yeah, those things are freaking $85 a pair, and he's already been through 5 pairs this year. So I'm like, yeah, no, how about we stop, finding new and creative ways to put holes in pants? Because how are you going to explain to your coworkers that you busted a hole in your pants trying to twerk for your wife? Let's not do that. So yeah, there was that. It's just been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week, and I'm okay with it. And even with Killian not wanting to get out of the dog, like this morning, I still had problems trying to get Killian out of the dog park. I was talking to Rachel yesterday, and the entire time I'm trying to talk to her, I'm chasing the dog around the damn dog park, trying to get him out of the dog park. Meanwhile, Daisy's just nicely sitting by the gate waiting for us to join her so that we can leave. She eventually just lays down. She gave up. She just gave up. But this is every time we go out. So whenever you guys hear me say I have to go walk dogs or something, just pray for me, y'all, because it's going to be a bad winter. I can already see it. It's going to be a bad winter. And I literally sat at the kids' school yesterday and watched people slide through the stop sign, and I'm like, there is going to be an accident. It wasn't even a lot of snow. And it's supposed to warm up over the next couple of days, which scares me because if you don't know anything about the weather, the moment it starts to get warm after it has snowed means that there's another cold front coming. It always warms up before it snows. And so I'm like, let's get provisions ready now. For those of you who don't know, the contest ends on the 15th. All prizes and everything have to be claimed by the 21st, because by the 23rd, all the prizes will be sent out. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the 5,000 subscriber giveaway for the mug and the custom diamond painting of my little Animoji girl. And so if you're still looking to enter into that, I kind of have an idea of like how I'm going to do everything, but do keep in mind, Friday's live stream in the afternoon is going to be at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's going to be at 11 a.m. It's probably only going to be for about 30 minutes. Long enough for me to pick the winners, and that's it. Because I have to go live that evening too, so like, y'all going to get a whole lot of Miss Coffee talking. So if you have been entering into the contest, good luck to you all. I might end up having to send out the cups separately from the canvases, only because I can't seem to find a box that is big enough for the canvas and tall enough for the mugs, because the mugs are in they're individually wrapped in styrofoam. So I might have to send them separately, which I'm hoping to find a way to send them together and maybe find a box that they both will fit in, but we'll have to wait and see. So I'm gonna do some research on that today, because I have to go find a box, because I have some stuff I need to send off to Rachel Ray. I still need to send a little picture off to an Angel's mom from Friday. So yeah, I need to get off to the post office today or tomorrow. I'm probably going to get out to the post office the day you're seeing this. Like, I'm probably sitting at the post office now mad because I have pants on. So yeah, so there's that. And I'm wondering why they haven't cleaned the streets up yet. Like, the guy that comes through with the sand that they put on the streets, the de-icer, they've come by. But the guys that come through with the blade that scrape all the ice off the streets, they haven't came by in a while. So I'm just kind of like, where's these guys at? Like, for real, because the ice on this road is ridiculous. Like I said, I sat in front of that school yesterday, and I watched quite a few people slide right on through that stop sign. And I'm like, y'all better than me. I'm laughing because I drove, it took me, what, 5 minutes to make a 2-minute drive? Because I drove slow. I'd rather be safe than sorry, okay? I already got in a wreck last year. I ain't trying to do it again this year. No, thank you. So I have been taking it easy when driving because I'm already fearful of driving in the snow, let alone I'm already fearful of driving in the snow, let alone having to sit there and take the kids to school. So I don't only have my life in my hands, I have my kids' life too. So I always make sure to take it easy when I'm driving. Just don't ride the brakes, and don't slam on the brakes, because that's not going to help. Learned that lesson the hard way the first time. Did I ever tell you guys how I ripped the rear axle off my Pontiac Sunfire? Story time. So back when I was a teenager, I was dating this guy in the military. We're going to call him Bill. Why are all guys named Bill? I don't freaking know. If your spouse or whoever you know is named Bill, tell them Miss Coffee says hi. So he was in the military, and he was overseas, and he told me to take care of his car for him while he was gone. And then he came back and was like, well, you can take this car, and he had gotten another car, so he gave me this Sunfire. And I was like, well, you're the sweetest, I love you. That was my boo back then. So I'm driving one day, and this is when I lived in Harrisburg, close to my parents. And I was going to my parents' house because, if you guys didn't know, Miss Coffee has this unhealthy obsession with food. It's not unhealthy to the point where, like, I need, some kind of, like, program or something. It's unhealthy to the point where if I get, like, stuck on something, I get stuck on something, which I'll tell you that story after this. So I had gotten a Subway sandwich, and I worked in the mall. I worked at Claire's in the mall. And if you don't know what Claire's is, it's like a little boutique that sold like hair accessories, like girly accessories. We pierced ears. Yes, I was certified to pierce ears. Yes, somebody trusted me with a needle to stab somebody else in the face with. That was a thing for a while. So we're going to put away this color and get out letter G. I just spilled a diamond on my chair. Hate when the diamonds get stuck up underneath your nail. Good God. Thirstiest dog on the planet. Shoot, at the rate we're going, we might finish this canvas before I get off here, huh? See, letter G. But yeah, so I was working in the mall, and I was like, dude, I'm hungry. I didn't have any money. I was a broke worker. Like, I would literally work to buy more stuff from the places that I worked. And I was like, dude, I don't have any money. I'm starving. I have lunch break. My parents only lived, like, I don't know, not even 10 minutes from the mall. So I was like, I'm just going to run back to my parents' house, because for some reason, I wasn't living with my parents at the time, but for some reason, I had put this sandwich in the refrigerator the day before. So I was going to go run over to their house and get the sandwich. And it was just my parents living there, so nobody else was going to eat it. Plus, nobody else likes turkey and pickles. So yes, I would get turkey pickle sandwiches because I love that. And so I go to drive to my parents' house. Now, it had started snowing. It was my first year driving in the snow. I didn't know anything really about driving in the snow before then. I just knew I was hungry and wanted that sandwich. Excuse me. And my parents lived on a steep hill, so you had to go up this hill, like almost 90-degree angle, I think I want to say. Maybe. But you had to go up this hill to get to my parents' house, because my parents always live in a place that's hard to get to. I think it's like the military and my dad. Like, you have to, like, go through all these, like, loops and whatever to get to their houses. No matter where they've lived, it's always been a rigmarole to get to their house. All right, so I need letter Z now. Nope, that's number 2. Oh, it's right here in my face. So anyways, so I go to drive up this hill. Now, take it had been snowing, and it wasn't just snow. It was sleeting. So it was ice and snow, and I had to drive up this hill in a Pontiac Sunfire. I started sliding, so I slammed on the gas. if you are new to driving, which by this time, none of us are new to driving, but don't ever slam on the gas. So I slammed on the gas to get up the hill. And when I got up to the top of the hill, I then couldn't stop. And when you got up to the top of the hill, you didn't have to make a sharp turn. And I made it too sharp. And I ended up spinning my car out of control. Now, don't worry. No injuries came from this car accident, okay? I was fine. The car, not so much, but I was fine. That's all that matters. And when I say that, it's a material thing. It can be replaced, okay? I can't be replaced. You can replace that Sunfire. Not that I wanted to. So I'm sitting there, and my car is spinning out of control, and all I can think of is, calm down, slam on the brakes. Nope. That was the wrong plan. Because then I started to slide and spin again. And when I started sliding and spin again, there was this insurance company that was at the top of the hill. And so there was like their parking lot, and then like here's their parking lot, here's the building, and there's this tree right at the edge of their parking lot. Now I took out this tree, okay? I took out this tree like I was Steven Seagal. Put down in the comment section if you remember Steven Seagal. That used to be my mom's favorite person in the world. Him and Jean-Claude Van Damme. Good God. So I took out this tree like Steven Seagal, like Chuck Norris, like Jason Statham. Like I took out the tree, okay? Liam Neeson had nothing on me. So I take out this tree. I'm still spinning, and my car slams into the building. I'm freaked out, and don't you know, not one of these mofos in the building came out to check to see if I was okay. Now, I didn't know what the damage was to my car. I didn't get out of the car. I just knew my head was spinning, and I wanted to get to my parents' house, because in my brain, my dad can fix anything. So whatever is wrong with this car, Daddy will fix it. So I back up, and my parents' house was literally 2 minutes from that building. So I back up, I get out of their parking lot, I drive down to my parents' house. It's snowing, so the car's wobbling, and I'm like, oh, I definitely have a flat tire. I'm pretty sure my dad can fix that, though. No worries. I get to my parents' house. My dad comes out, and he goes, oh, my God, what happened to your car? Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I just came to get lunch for work. And he goes, what happened to your car? I didn't see what happened to my car until he said that, and I turned around and went, oh! I had ripped the rear axle off the car and drove it to my parents' house. Now, it was still attached to the car, but here is the car. So here's the front axle. Your rear axle with your 2 tires on it is supposed to be up under your car. Mine was sitting behind the car. And I had no clue. I drove that car all the way to my parents' house, which again was another 2 minutes down the road. Had no clue that the rear axle had came off. And I'm not even joking you. I look at my dad and go, well, can't you just snap it back together so I can get to work? My dad looks at me with this look on his face like he was proud of me and all my accomplishments up to that very moment. But at that moment, he had lost all respect for me. And he's like, that is not a Lego. I cannot go out there and pick up the back end of your car and snap it back onto your rear axle. That is not how that works. You're going to have to call a tow company and come get it to have it fixed. I'm like, but how am I going to get back to work? And he's like, well, you're worried about getting back to work? And I'm like, yeah, I am on lunch break. I'm like, I literally only came here for this. He goes, you almost killed yourself over a Subway sandwich. I'm like, Daddy, you don't understand, okay? They use the fresh bread. Like, I watched the bread come out of the oven at Subway, okay? And there's nothing better than that fresh bread from Subway. And he's just like, oh my God. Okay, we're going to call a tow company to come get the car. And I had my ex's insurance on it, so they came and took it and fixed it up for him for a whopping like $2,000 or something like that. I don't remember. I didn't pay for it. I don't know. So that was that story. Now, when it comes to food, why do I say I have an unhealthy obsession? Because does anybody else do this? Now, I know I ask a lot of questions of you guys, but I'm getting to know you just like you're getting to know me. You ever have something so good you start singing? You guys have probably heard me talking about this Patti LaBelle banana pudding. You guys, this Patti LaBelle banana pudding has me all up in my feelings right now. One, because I remember being in the car with my parents, listening to Patti LaBelle going, please, for the love of God, turn this crap off. And now I'm just sitting here eating her pumpkin pies and her banana pudding going, if only you knew. And I call my dad and he's like, are you singing Patti LaBelle right now? And I'm like, Daddy, I am eating Patti LaBelle banana pudding. Have you tasted this? And he's like, no, she has banana pudding. Now, my dad loves snacks and stuff like that. My mom makes some of the best homemade banana pudding. I know how to make that. But, and don't get me wrong, my banana pudding is more rocking than this banana pudding. But this banana pudding is rocking because I don't have to make it. Because how many of you can actually make homemade pudding? Like, without the interference of the box. Like, I can make from scratch banana pudding, including the pudding. The pudding is made with milk and eggs and sugar and stuff like that. Like, there's no box. There's no gelatin mix. It's literally flour, milk, eggs, sugar, and me mixing. Like, that's how I make the pudding for the banana pudding. And apparently it's a thing that not a lot of people can do. And I was like, how not? It's real easy. No, I won't do a video on it. I don't do cooking on this channel. That might be viewed for children. So I'm sitting there and I'm singing like the Patti LaBelle. And I was also in Becky's live and I was talking to Sariba. And she was saying about, why you gotta tell me that? I'm like, you didn't know about that Patti LaBelle pudding? You gotta try it. It's in the bakery of Walmart. Buy the cakes. I don't know if they sell it in like regular grocery stores, but where I live, they sell it in the bakery next to the, like on, at the same counter where the cakes are, they have like the Patti LaBelle banana pudding. And I've gone through at least 4 or 5 of those things in the last week. And then they have what they call the individual size and then the family size. I've gone through 5 of the family size. Don't judge me. I know, and I already got fussed at by Becky, and she's like, "You're gonna get diabetes." At this point, I don't care. It's so good. Like I don't care right now until I actually get diabetes, and then I'll care. But for right now, oh my God, if only you knew. So I always say I have an unhealthy obsession with food, because if food tastes good enough, I'll start singing and dancing to it. Which is funny because I put up a little video on Instagram, which would have been, when you're watching this, it would have been yesterday. And I like making people laugh. It's, probably the best medicine for me is watching other people laugh at things that I do. Now, I'm not going to be doofy and do something stupid to make people laugh. But if I just do something like I normally do to make people laugh, I love doing it. So the other morning I woke up and I was in a good mood. I slept well. I, didn't have to get up to go to the bathroom 1,700 times. And I started dancing. Now, I started dancing because that's how I woke the kids up. And so I used the Snapchat filter. I don't usually use Snapchat. I'm not a Snapchatty person. I want you to see my real face, not my fake face. I can't with the Snapchat filters, but every once in a while, if I'm trying to be stupid or something, I'll use one. And I used one of the filters and I was dancing while I was waking up the kids. And of course, Orion with his, is that necessary in the dictionary? You guys, I'm telling you, he says that one more time, I'm chopping him straight in the esophagus. But, oh, there we go. I'm sitting there dancing and I was waking up the kids and then I was just like, oh, because my friend Coley, we call her Coley, she will randomly send me funny videos of her dancing at work and stuff. And she lives in New York. So like she works at like the train place, like Metro something. And she'll send me videos randomly of her doing like crazy stuff and singing songs. That used to be our thing, is, singing songs. And over Snapchat, and she would randomly send me videos. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to send a video to Coley. So I just sent her this little video of me dancing, and I put it up on Instagram too. And apparently, like, people loved it. And I was just like, that's that moment and that coffee hits you just right in the morning and you all up in your feelings. Yeah, that's what that's about. Anywho. So, yeah, I got a lot done, you guys. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you watching. I feel like I haven't diamond painted in forever. It's only been 4 days since I've diamond painted, but that's 4 long days. But I don't want to make this too long. I have other things that I have to get done today. I'm hoping to get out to the post office today, the day you're seeing this. So if you are one of the lucky people like Rachel Ray or an Angel's mom that I am sending a package to, I will have those hopefully going out no later than Friday. Probably, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to wait until Friday because Friday I have to go grocery shopping anyways. So there's no point of me leaving the house now when I have to go back out that way Friday. So if you are waiting for something from me, I will send it out Friday. Sorry for the delay, but I, again, don't like leaving the house. So, yeah. Plus, my favorite lady that worked at the post office works on Fridays. So, please just let me have this. Not like you have a choice anyways. So, you know, you'll be all right. Either way. If you were working on something and would like to show your progress or what you got done in this whip and chat, please feel free to share it in my group on Facebook. It's a group that I share with one of my favorite creators, Rachel Ray. So the group name is called Crafters Anonymous with Miss Crochet and Coffee and Rachel Ray. All you have to do is answer the 3 questions and agree to the rules to be entered in. If you're not entered in automatically, it means you didn't enter or you didn't answer all the rules, or you didn't answer all the questions and agree to the rules to be automatically entered in. So please make sure you do that, because if you don't, we automatically deny your request to get in. But please feel free to share your work. In that group, you can share anything you want craft related, because we are all addicted to crafting, and no, we do not want to get any help. All I ask is that it has to be something that is made by hand. So like if you make a cake or something like that, you know, every once in a while somebody will share a cute pet picture. Like somebody shared a picture of a little baby chihuahua that they're getting. I was like, oh my God, look at the little puppy. I'm too tall for big or for little dogs, so I have to live vicariously through you guys, because a lot of you guys have small dogs. I don't have small dogs. Oh, crap. Yeah, that, and I have to go too, because I have to clean my house. My complex is coming in tomorrow, which is the day you're seeing this, to check the radiators in the house to make sure that they're all functioning properly. And all I can think of is now I have to move my entire house around because my radiators are all behind furniture. Like in Orion's room is behind his bed, and Maggie's room is behind her gigantic doll house that she got for Christmas or for her birthday. So yeah, like I gotta do some rearranging, and then of course I have a bunch of boxes in my room from packing up stuff and everything. So I have a lot to get done today. So I should probably let you guys go. Plus, if I don't, this is gonna be like a 4-hour long video. But yes, thank you guys again so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. But with that said, folks, I'm going to have to bid you adieu. Until next time, folks. I'm pretty sure I will see you guys in live. Please do remember, I do go live every Friday night from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Central Standard Time, which is 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then whatever it is for you lovely folks. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. But as I bid you adieu, I'm going to remind you, like I always try to, be kind, be courteous, be cool.